Hang on, everybody. Let's see here. Let me go to it. We're just going to hang out for a little bit.
Take your time.
And
No rush.
make sure get a link to
Absolutely no
Tom.
rush.
It's like one of the last indie theaters here.
Yeah.
Everything else is really like.
Yeah, this has gone through a generation of, a couple of generations of different independent owners.
But I'm glad they remodeled.
No, I
Yeah.
brought it. I may have to plug it in.
Give me a second here.
Did you bring your coffee? I did. Right now.
Oh, yeah.
Adam and the zombie.
Adam the
Oh,
Amazing.
would you like
Zombie
that
Killer.
water?
Adam the Amazing.
Sure.
Okay.
But yours actually is for you. No, no, we're
We
good.
can
Good.
share.
Okay.
We got one. We can share.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll share like that. Yes, you were in Adam, and it was bad. Bad.
Oh, okay.
It's not coming up on my. There you go.
No, we went to her.
Adam and the what? Is
Adam the Amazing Zombie Killer.
Right. We filmed it. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, you got a lot of my body parts in that movie.
Yeah, Dan actually gave us some special effects for.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just a second here. It's
We need to
taking a little bit longer.
That really sucks.
Should be the live video.
You know, it was fabulous.
You like?
Yeah, we're there we go, finally. All right, there's that. We got a nice delay.
That's a pretty serious delay.
Yeah.
So you can curse all you want.
And then he'll edit it. Leap. We did Troma.
Yeah, that's right. We just had
In
the
this
19th.
theater?
No, in Park City. We were. I was the guy with the accordion.
I mean, you were
Yeah,
part
you
of
got,
the
they
band.
confiscated your accordion. It's a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah.
They told me that.
Mm.
Your accordion.
Yeah, accordion. Yeah, he was playing the Toxic Avenger theme song. I was dancing around.
And they said,
And they took my mom and they couldn't take his accordion.
Well, talk about it. It's good stuff.
That's true.
We got policed out of Sundance eventually. Then we moved to, eventually, well, now we do it in New York.
And then two Troma finishing got police out of Cannes.
We got policed out of New Jersey. We were in Asbury Park for 3 or 4 years, and the mayor was totally uncooperative. You know, Asbury Park was a dump. It was a gang fighting there, and they were nasty. So we moved to New York. We just had the 19th one.
Nice. Almost 20 years. Did you see that the chicken bunker is like a fire department now?
Yeah.
what, they tore it down
Yeah,
and built?
it's a fire department now.
Okay.
It's all fancy and.
But
That whole area is
They took that building down
All
and
right.
built.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That area has actually become quite nice with the water tower.
You're kidding me.
No,
It's
no,
nice
we've been there. Yeah.
You know,
We made some more movies.
We don't have. We were kind of afraid for.
When you were-
Oh yeah, we had drive-by shootings with the area
Oh,
we
wow.
filmed in. You know, it's the only
Every
reason they
night
let
you
us
went
in.
back to the church, you prayed, you knew you were in good shape.
Nice. Oh,
And if
jeez.
not, there was at least
Such
40 people
adventures.
blocking the doors
Oh,
before
right.
They got to where we were sleeping.
All right. So I messaged Tom.
Okay, well, don't worry.
So he'll
Thank you
he'll
very
figure
much.
out the link. He can do that on his end. But yeah, so welcome Lloyd and Pat, right? Oh, okay. I don't know these guys.
We
No,
don't.
yes, you were on a previous show
No,
actually.
we were on your show
Zach
before,
and
right?
Richard.
We were on-
Yeah, they were on last time. We talked about Adam the Amazing Zombie Killer, and yeah, we're here with on COFOH Live Undead. I've got a nice ensemble. Film legend. Lloyd Kaufman.
Thanks.
And his wife
Pat
Patricia.
Kaufman,
Yeah.
Commissioner, of New York State
commish.
Film Commissioner for 20 years, appointed by four governors,
Oh man,
and friend of Zack Beins, which is not an easy
Yeah.
thing to do.
We're all friends. It's a tough one.
All those governors, they love Zack Beins.
who can't be friends with Zach? He's a big teddy bear.
Well, but
We love Zach. We love Zach.
Richard is his Buddha. Richard Taylor is Zach's Buddha. He doesn't make a move without the wisdom of Richard Taylor and Adam the Zombie Killer. What is
Yep.
it called?
Adam the
The
Amazing Zombie Killer.
Killer.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
And we have Kevin the Wonder Duck in the movie that this wonderful theater is showing tonight.
Oh,
The Oriental
fantastic.
Cinema tonight. Doors open at 6:30, Commissioner, if you're available.
Yeah, screaming
6:30.
today.
Yeah.
Down
When does the
here
movie
now.
screen?
Yep.
8 o'clock
Everybody-
It's at 8.
tonight.
Everybody in Denver, come down here to the Oriental Theater at 44th and Tennyson, and come see the new film.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the film.
Tell us the title.
The film, the
Beautifully
title.
prepared.
I know, right? Return to Nuke'em High,
Close.
volume
Close.
Return
two.
to Nuke'em High,
Really?
aka Volume
Oh, well, I got the wrong notes
Pat is
there.
one of the producers. Yeah, probably
Oh.
my assistant fucked it up. But that's all right. Return. It's the second volume. It's a 2-part
Yeah.
movie, and
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino told me to do something more ambitious. So when he did his 2-part movie, Killer Bill or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I decided I too would be very pretentious. I got the commissioner to produce it, and it's terrific. Tonight, the second half of this movie, although you don't need to see the first half, which is called Return to Nuke'em High.
Okay.
Tonight it's Return to Nuke'em High, aka Volume 2.
Nice.
And it had its premiere at the New York Museum of the Moving Image.
Okay.
And the Museum of Modern Art premiered the first Volume 1, and it's been this is maybe 200 cinemas. Not as many cinemas as Adam the Amazing Zombie Killer, but
which Lloyd Kaufman stars in.
Yep.
that's
Oh,
true.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
Bowling,
Yeah.
we did it in the bowling alley.
Yep,
I
bowling alley.
don't think you were.
We filmed that in Denver.
Did
We didn't have the commission for that.
No.
Next time. That's
Next
why
time.
it's not as popular.
Yeah.
You're not in the movie.
There you go.
Well, what's that tonight at the
Yeah.
Great Oriental Cinema, the Colorado premiere of Return to Nuke'em High, aka Volume 2, and each lesbian couple that is coming, because the theme of Return to Nuke'em High and Return to Nuke'em High is LGBTQ, cis-identified, whatever. We're going to be giving away to every lesbian couple that shows up at the amazing Oriental Landmark Cinema in Denver, Colorado, starting at 6:30. They will get a free Blu-ray of the newly minted Spy Darlings, which is a wonderful LBGT movie that we helped produce, and in which Lloyd Kaufman has a cameo. And now it's right in front of the commissioner's face. And since
Oh,
the
dear.
commissioner is the only one that anybody out there is looking at, now they'll see the Blu-ray. Now they're looking at the commissioner.
Yeah,
They don't-
as all I should go.
Although I have to say, Richard Taylor's pretty good looking out there.
He is. He's got a nice shiny forehead.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the shiny forehead.
not as yeah.
Yeah, you know-
actually
you know
shinier
that
than
problem.
mine.
You know
Yeah,
that
I have that
problem.
problem as well.
And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, I
Yep.
usually carry it. I got it here somewhere.
Excellent.
Adam and the Amazing Zombie Killer.
Oh,
I
there
don't
it
go
is.
Oh,
anywhere
look at
without
that.
it. Let me tell you,
From
folks.
these guys.
This is the movie. And by the way, if you look at this movie, the wrinkles, I've seen people's wrinkles. It's unbelievable. They go away in 10 minutes. You can see it. We could actually see
It's true. We did
Yeah.
make that movie like 30 years ago.
You watch this movie and the wrinkles, we're going to do an infomercial, I think.
Yep, it's a fountain of
Like
youth.
infomercial?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice joke.
Uh,
Nice jeu de mots.
Yeah. Lloyd, you've been around. Yeah.
Daniel
You've been.
Crosier is a French name.
It is.
Très français.
And unfortunately, here in,
Well,
in the U.S., we've kind of dumbed it down to Crosier. So,
Oh, Crosier's
yeah.
pretty good.
but Crosier,
Crosier.
Crosier,
Bonjour, Crosier.
it's all correct. Yeah.
Nice.
I answered to all kinds of things, including "fuck you" and "hey asshole." Yeah,
Well-
Richard knows that. That's usually how he.
I know that,
Absolutely. I know everything about your
The
life.
commissioner and I know that the Colorado Festival of Horror is part of your beat, and
Yeah.
it's a wonderful festival too.
Yeah. Well, we have our inaugural year next year.
Yeah,
so
no,
we're
I
just
know. I've been
we're-
reading about it.
yeah we're
I've
just
seeing what you're selecting, and it looks real good.
yeah thank you yeah we're just starting to ramp up and been doing this interview series, bringing on our
Going to
friends.
get a lot of Marvel movies and things like Suicide Squad.
No, definitely not.
No local independent filmmakers.
No.
Let's try to see how many asses we can kick, right? That's what you
Yeah.
guys do. I know. Let me tell you, I've been through it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's been around
Yeah,
a
I don't know if Marvel really goes into the horror stuff, but some of the stuff is horrifying to watch, But yeah, it's unfortunate.
Giving you a hard time. So
Yeah.
I apologize.
As you
Sorry,
should.
Commissioner.
It keeps me on
It's
my
a miracle
toes.
that my wife could be in politics for 20 years, appointed by both Democratic and Governor And
Uh-huh.
Republican governors, in spite of people like this
Yeah.
and me.
And weren't you also voted
You
one
said
of the most
Jew. You said so.
influential feature film a few years ago by
Yeah.
Variety, right?
Yeah,
That's
true,
also
yeah.
what I've heard. Yeah.
As well as the
He's stalking
100,
you, Lloyd.
the top 100 women too. You were in Variety in the top 100 cis-identified females.
I think at that point they didn't use that
No, they
terminology.
Yeah.
they said cunt in those days, I think.
Oh.
Right? Because they are, right?
Mm.
They have
Mm.
absolutely no moral compass. They will do
None.
if Hitler came in, Variety would call you whatever, Juden or something. Yeah.
Where's
Where's her water? Yeah.
Water. Water
Yeah.
point.
Lloyd, you've been in the film industry for a while.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yes. 50 years, which in
50
the
years,
but in
yeah.
the scope of things, the dinosaurs were like 50 billion years ago. So it's really just a little,
Just a
little
blink,
nothing.
if
yeah.
even that,
In trauma
in
time,
the scope of time.
Trauma time.
in trauma
Trauma
time,
time.
1 year is 1 billion dinosaur years,
Oh,
Good
my.
point. Very good.
according to your math.
You get
That
a lot
sounds about
done
Right.
Yes.
in 1 year.
In
As
1
long as there's
billion years.
nymphobarbarians in dinosaur hell, I'm there.
That's right.
And Adam,
That's
the
right.
amazing
Zombie
zombie
killer.
killer, it doesn't come around more than once a dinosaur eon.
Yeah, right? So and you went to Yale.
Yes.
I noticed on your bio, yeah,
I have what, B.O.?
BO. I think that's more me.
I showered.
Yeah,
You saw me shower.
on your bio, I noticed that-
Radisson Hotel, very nice bath soap. No joke. Did you try? It's really
Yes, I
good.
did.
Yeah.
No, did you try the soap? It was really, it was
Oh,
like
it's
a
delicious.
lemonade.
Did you eat it?
No, I meant the
Yeah, it
olfactory.
smelled nice. Yeah,
It's really nice.
But taste does play into smell quite a bit.
Indeed, and
Yeah.
vision and hearing, they all work
Yeah,
together.
they all work together.
Just like the octopus.
Yeah.
The octopus has brains in its arms.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Not
right.
brains, but things, the arms can operate separately from the brain.
Yeah, and that's why I no longer eat octopus. It's just too
Yeah.
sentient.
Too
They're
human.
sentient,
You're right.
yeah.
Sentient is the exact
Yeah,
word.
that's
Yeah.
right. It's really
Yeah,
disturbing.
yeah. It's fascinating to watch them, work and operate.
Are you vegetarian like the stars of Return to Nuke'em High AK Volume
I am.
2?
I'm becoming one now.
Oh, good.
Especially with all, especially when it comes to such animals as the octopus.
I became one after I worked on Poultrygeist Night of the Chicken Dead,
No kidding.
which was,
Did we talk about that?
oh, no, we never brought it up.
We never
You never
brought it
asked
up.
me about it. You never looked at my BO.
No, I never looked at your BO.
No.
You wear it well. It's nice. It's thick and pasty.
Thank you. Thank
But back to you, Lloyd. You spent a
Yes,
year.
you need more me.
Yeah, you spent a year doing in the Peace Corps, correct?
Close.
Okay.
I was a guinea pig for the Peace Corps.
Oh.
And based on my experiences in the bush of Chad,
Mhm.
a country in the
Yep.
center of Africa, they would decide to bring in. I was kind of testing the area based
Oh.
on my reports and diseases. They decided to bring in the Peace Corps.
Interesting.
I managed to stay there for a year
Yeah.
with absolutely no preparation other than having seen the movie Zulu and John Ford's movie, about Magambo, I think it's called.
Uh-huh.
I had no preparation. I never even had an anthropology course at Yale. And I managed to stay there and not get kicked out. Peace Corps got kicked out in less than a year, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
That
What?
tells you something about the arrogance of our country.
Yeah. True. Was that part of you wanting to initially go into being a social worker initially?
No, I went to all boys school, high school. So, and then
Okay.
Yale was all boys,
Okay.
and I had no luck in the romance department. Apparently not attractive enough. So I kind of flew a circuit and went to. I wanted to get out of that kind of very serious. They were serious Latin schools.
Yeah.
College boards, and if you don't go to Yale, your life is ruined. That kind of mentality.
Okay.
So after freshman year at Yale,
Mhm.
which was more of the same and worse, I took a hike for a year. That wasn't too bad.
And you've
Okay.
always said, of course, looking back on it, you've always said that you'd had enough Western studying Western civilization, and you wanted to go and see something
Yes.
really different. And
That's-
so you went to Africa,
that is
spent
correct.
a year in
Mhm.
Africa, and then when you came back to Yale, at that point you chose to major in Chinese studies.
Yes, because education should be a liberal, open-minded experience. It's not about money. Shouldn't be about earning money. Shouldn't even be about paying money. Should have free education. So I thought I would devote my education to Africa, and thank you. And also, there were a lot of naked women in Africa, which you might have noticed, but
Yeah.
in my movies there are naked men and naked women. And there were rituals that went on in the marketplace, which were, you saw.
Mhm.
I never went to a slaughterhouse. I never saw an animal being slaughtered. I saw it
Oh.
there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's very, what do you want to call it? Very kind of surreal. So,
Yeah.
So Africa was a big influence. My wife loves sex and violence. She loves my narcissism.
Absolutely.
She loves my
She
charming.
keeps it more hidden.
Yeah. Well, you know, being
Oh,
the
more, please.
yeah, being the film commissioner for New York, yeah, you're going to get a lot of that.
Oh, she was so proud of the retrospective showings of Bloodsucking Freaks and Surf Nazis Must Die, which is a beautiful new T-shirt.
There you
It's
go.
like it's modeling there, the Surf Nazis Must Die. I believe that was the Auschwitz tribute, if I'm not mistaken. Was that not? Yes, I think so.
Just get a concentration cramp wearing this.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's the Lego Larry humor. Unbelievable. Yep, you should follow Lego Larry on Instagram. It's very good Instagram.
Yeah. So after Yale, and then after your experience of with going to Chad, in the Peace Corps, coming back to the U.S., how did you gradually initiate yourself into film?
How did I graduate? I have no memory of graduating,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
did. I have the certificate. I didn't go, but
Yeah.
I did it because I have it, but I have very little memory of
But
it.
that wasn't
Yeah.
his question.
Oh, what was the question?
Just how did you
Get into movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the
it was,
question.
because I went to Yale, oddly enough. My roommate was a movie nut. I was going to be, as I say, a
Mhm.
social worker, a
Yeah.
teacher, make the world a better place, teach about peace and love. It
Mhm.
was the 60s, right? And
which these guys are from?
you
Clearly.
remember that.
Yeah.
We're from the 60s.
But that was the idea, was to make the world a better place, and
Yeah.
idealism and Kennedy and all that shit. And then my roommate was a Yale film buff, and he ran the Yale Film Society. So eventually I started drifting into the auditorium that were showing the movies that were shown under his auspices, which were
Mhm.
mainly auteur theory movies by directors like John Ford, Howard Hawks, Chaplin, Keaton,
Yeah.
Stan Brakhage, who lived in Colorado, by the way.
Oh.
Major,
Awesome
Okay.
from Boulder.
Major.
And Cannibal the musical.
He
He's
was
in
their
Canada.
teacher.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
We got
Stan
to
was-
meet him like really quick
Oh.
while we were there.
That's so cool.
Stan Brakhage was the only professor that gave Trey Parker and Matt Stone any encouragement when they were making Cannibal the musical. And I don't know what happened to them since, but I think that professor was 100% wrong.
Yeah, they dropped off.
Stan Brakhage died. A very nice man. And we brought him to Yale, too. We brought him freshman year.
Oh, okay.
We brought him to Yale. I interviewed him for the radio station. Asked him one question. He spoke for an hour. And all the little boys got upset, of course, because they wanted to hear the Supremes.
Oh.
And, I got kind of kicked out of the radio station.
Oh.
Not for that, but, because that was my interest.
More of an
I think
accumulation
it
of
had something to do with my
things.
mouth, too. A little bit of a wise guy.
Yeah.
Luckily, I cured myself of that. My
Never
wife
a
is
wise guy,
very
yeah.
happy.
Never.
Speaking of which, how did the two of you meet?
Does Tinder mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah.
Pat, you should
He's
tell
a
him.
very tender guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Today, what is today?
This is our 45th anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Got that out there.
Happy anniversary.
I don't see Quentin Tarantino being married for 45 years, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think anybody could
But we
stand him
met
for 45
because-
years.
No, he's a very good guy.
Yeah.
He's been very nice to Troma.
Oh, good.
But we met because one of his early investors had been my brother's roommate at college, and had gone to New York and he kept a large boat in Long Island Sound and had house parties on his boat every weekend, and invited both of us repeatedly. And it just happens. The weekend that I said yes was the weekend he said yes, and that's how we met.
We both ran out of excuses. I don't know why I hate boats.
I actually like boats, but I had a very busy social life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you very popular.
Took a while
You're still
before
very
I had
popular.
a free weekend.
Yeah.
I had no social life. Every weekend was free for me.
No, you were actually editing a film, and so
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
when
we had made
Sugar
cookies. with,
Yeah,
Okay.
which this guy had invested in.
He invested in the one we did in Israel. Big Gus, what's the first?
But no,
Did he invest in Sugar?
Yeah,
Oh, well, then
I
he
think
made
so.
a little money.
I think so.
Sugar Cookies was the only X-rated movie in history to lose money, and now it's an R. Now it's benign.
Mhm.
Get a PG today, probably.
Yeah, I think Disney
It's
picked
very
it
good
up.
too. It's Mary Warnow, Warhol stars like Undine, and
Lynn Lowry.
Oliver Stone was one of the
Lowry,
producers. Yeah, Lynn Lowry from Eat Your Blood, or
Yeah,
Drink Your Blood,
and Shivers.
Shivers, as well as The Crazies, which was later renamed. It's a very good movie, The Crazies, and they missold it. They renamed it, and it's a Romero movie. And
Yeah.
it's very good. It's just one of those things that didn't get recognition. And Lynn Lowry is very good. She's in my first movie, Battle of Love's Return, in which Oliver Stone that was his first movie venture.
Yeah.
Wasn't he your neighbor?
And when we were growing as kiddies, as children, we
Oh, no
lived
kidding.
down the street from each other, a couple of blocks away. We used to have sleepovers.
Oh, there you go.
About,
Back and to the left.
No, it was no sex, unfortunately, but we were very, like kids. It was basically him beating me up, and then I'd go home crying. It was over and over and over.
It was one of those
Yes,
relationships.
it was great. My folks and his folks were like real good buddies. So,
Yeah, early
so
lessons.
if they would go out, I'd go to his place, and my folks and his folks could go out, out on the town, or he would stay at our place, and they all would go out of the town. But the basic routine was he would basically beat me up. I'd go home crying.
Oh. Oh,
But
man.
somehow we figured it out because
Yeah.
we made some movies together. He loved you. He loved you, Pat.
Yeah.
Well, everybody loves you.
And Pat, you going into politics, was that always, something that you were looking forward to doing, as granted as film commissioner?
No. I started life as a teacher, and then eventually, then got interested in politics, and then became the film commissioner, and then really found my niche and did that for 20 years and loved it. It was terrific.
Nice. Yeah. How is that relationship of being the film commissioner and then going home to Lloyd with Troma, and then some of the films that he's produced and everything. That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I straddled two very different worlds. 'Cause
Yeah.
With the commission, I worked with all the big Hollywood films and the big TV shows, but I also took great pride in the fact that New York, we think of ourselves in New York as the independent film capital of the world. So for the whole 20 years that I was running the commission, it was very important to me to make sure that we were just as attentive and helpful to the little independent film as we were to the big Hollywood things that came in. And no wonder, I was married to Lloyd, and
Yeah.
I cut my teeth on Troma, and but it really two very different worlds. That
One cuts their teeth, one world cuts their farts. Simple as that.
thank you.
But Pat,
Some good cheese.
well, I'm meaning Troma is the one that cuts the farts. But in all honesty, Pat was just as nice to a student from NYU Film School as what's his name, Woody Allen or Sam Raimi on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And Republican governors and Democratic governors pointed to.
But I truly believe
amazing.
that the independent filmmakers that were coming up in New York were our future,
Mhm.
and that it was really important to make it possible for them to get their projects done, just as important that they got their work done as
Yeah.
it was at the big Hollywood films. And then if these filmmakers, if some of them wanted to go out and be Hollywood moguls, that's great. They'd still love New York and they'd bring their projects budgets back.
Well,
Yeah.
also the local industry, they stay. Troma's there, right?
Mhm.
These Hollywood people come in and film for a week and then take a hike.
Yeah.
Although the TV
Not
series
anymore.
are now,
They're-
TV's very big.
It
in
is massive what's going on. I mean, it's like it's more than $4 billion a year.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Probably
Way more
Tom.
than $4 billion.
Oh, yeah, that
Hi,
probably
Tom.
so. Hi, Tom.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. Back to
But wait, may I just say something? Because Troma's 45-year-old company this year, and there's no independent film studio in history that has lasted for 45 years. And the reason is people like Zack and Richard, and sometimes it's because of people like Richard and Zack. But the point is, Troma has the best fan base. Like they grew up with Troma, they worked on our movies, they helped us create the scripts, and we wouldn't be here without the fans. They also got us into theaters here.
The Troma Paloozas.
What was the other one that?
Esquire.
oh,
Yeah,
yes,
Esquire,
I remember that.
and you guys did your own. They did a Troma. We run a film
Troma
festival that has no money, and the
Yeah,
Troma
Troma Dance.
Palooza. The Troma Palooza concerts pay for the
Mhm.
film or help pay for the film festival.
And that's where I met you almost,
Oh,
10
wow.
years ago?
Right.
Because I had
About 10
the
years.
OFM performance group where we
Oh,
got dressed up in
yeah,
the
right.
big monster outfits, hooked up with the fake blood. And
No, it all.
it's kind of along the lines of like Guar, except without the the heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Instead,
No,
Yeah, because we were walking around with the big golden cock and popping people on the
Yeah,
head.
it was
and stuff.
great.
It was made out of
Very
fun,
cool.
foam and everything. So it was fun.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was a great
for the whole
time.
family.
Really great.
What's
That
that?
wasn't actually you.
And
True. I was the big golden cock.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Roosters.
I've got the
Remember
hair.
that?
I've got the hairstyle.
Roosters are fantastic. Fantoxic.
Fantoxic.
Or fantoxic. Whichever you
and we had your
prefer.
favorite musical group, the Asbestos Tampons.
No kidding.
Remember them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Asbestos Tampons.
Are they still recording?
No, they're not.
They got, somebody pulled their strings, or they got.
Finally got.
Oh, yeah. That one's dangling.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
This is terrible.
yeah, as
So
it should be, right? Yeah, wave to your
My
mom.
wife is very
Enough,
embarrassed.
I know,
moving
yeah.
on.
Yeah. So, talking about your fan base, yeah, they are enthralled with everything. You seem to do, with your films at Troma. Very much willing to be engaged. When I see you at shows, I always make sure come up to the booth. I usually have Enigma, the big blue tattooed
Right.
guy.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Very good guy.
He's
Enigma's
always
great.
going through your stuff
He's
and
a buddy.
everything.
Yeah.
And and it's just so encouraging to see that that kind of fan base. We see that as well in the horror community. Way more than we would if we were going to a Comic-Con. It's like hit and miss with that big box type of event. But you go to like a horror film festival as a vendor, everybody's like interested. It's like, what are you doing? What is it? And they're like, they're looking through it. They're purchasing your wares. And I see the same group of people going to Troma and doing the exact same thing. These guys, myself.
They make our movies. I mean, we just finished a new film that Pat produced based on The Tempest, Shakespeare's The Tempest. Everybody on the crew, the technical crew, the production staff, the actor, everybody was serious fan. They had to be because we pay very little.
Yeah.
And it's 18-hour days and
grueling.
meltdowns and disfigurement and appliances
And hopefully you get some of that on film, not just behind the scenes. Sometimes.
We did our best.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I grew up on Toxic Avenger. My dad, on Saturday afternoons, they would have a Saturday afternoon matinee of USA Up All Night. And granted, that was even more edited down.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
as like, probably 8 or 9 years old, that was my introduction. And I was like, wow, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I want more. And then, Kung Fu films would come on. And then, and then when I got of age, I was like, oh, Up All Night is actually, on after midnight. And I could actually see a little bit more of an extended cut. And then finally, I grew up in rural Colorado. So in the small town that I lived in, which was less than 1,000 people, we finally got our first video store, and there's Toxic Avenger, and it's like full length. I was like, yes! And I was still underage, but the guys were like, yeah, here, rent this. You're our only customer.
Yeah, very cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was my intro into
That's
your
great.
works.
Well, hey, here we are at the Oriental Cinema. I mean, again, they're fans. They wouldn't have me. They're taking a huge financial risk, right? They should be getting Bon Jovi, and instead they got Troma. And let's hope the fans turn out. Got to come.
They got somebody
Gotta
with
show
flavor.
up if you want your free copy. Spy Darlings for you lesbian couples. If you want the free copy, show up tonight. Support the Oriental Theater, right?
Right.
Tonight it's the Troma Oriental Theater.
Woo!
You're taking over.
No, that is not true.
No, you should. Well,
Not
these
sure.
guys will. I've seen these guys at
They're
work.
great.
We're taking
Yeah, they like to sweep the
I
leg.
do what the commissioner tells me.
Well, now you've got a great team here running the Orient.
We sure do.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Scott and the gang are amazing.
Yeah.
And but again, Troma is the classic cult theater company, studio,
Yeah.
movie studio. There's no other studio left that's got any longevity.
Yeah.
And it's
true.
only because of our fans, really. They're the ones who get the theaters. They make the movies. They have helped us on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
They do our posters. We have a beautiful poster, but a beautiful painting. It was done by a fan for very little money, for much less than what he charges for what's the one he did, the Avengers.
Mm. Yeah.
And the guy doing our CGI does Marvel films too.
No kidding.
Yeah, he hates them, but no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I don't want him to lose his job.
Yeah.
No, he loves them.
Yeah.
But he loves Troma too.
Yeah.
And there's some amazing CGI in the new Shakespeare Shitstorm, which is the movie that is our Tempest.
Yeah. With New York supporting independent films and filmmakers, Troma, of course, as you mentioned, is kind of that staple too. And there's a lot of along with Richard and Zack, there's a lot of talent that has gone on to do some really big things. We mentioned Matt Stone and Trey Parker, but of course James Gunn, who you're still.
They only did South Park though. They really James Gunn has more variety.
Sure.
No, they did movies.
Yeah, they did, but they were very
Broadway plays.
And Broadway
that's true,
shows.
you're
right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
but again, it was mainly. You're right. The Book of Mormon. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And Orgasmo.
yeah.
More
That's
than
true.
it was a little off-Broadway number.
Yeah. Yes.
That's very true.
Just tiny. Yeah.
And South Park is better. Its 20th year or so is better than ever.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They single-handedly revived the American satire. We didn't.
Yeah.
There's very little left.
Yeah.
And it's based on the current mood of the yappers. You have free speech in this country as long as you don't say anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. Back when I was in art school too, I came across Cannibal the Musical.
That's why you should see Return to Nuke'em, AK Volume 2, because anybody who's a little upset with the current state of mind of society might have some fun kind of rebelling against being told what to say and being told what to do 24/7.
Yep.
By all 8 sides, whoever the sides they are. Everybody's right. Nobody wants to listen to anybody. Yale is the worst of it, too. Yale University is the worst of it. That inspired Shakespeare's Shitstorm, what I saw going on in my alma mater.
He was about to ask you.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I took a lot of acid in the 60s.
This PSA ties into what I was gonna kind of direct towards.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. But with Cannibal the Musical, I saw it initially in the theater at the Mayan Theater, the landmark Mayan Theater, just down the street on South Broadway.
You have your own theater?
No, not my own theater.
You said my own theater. You said my own theater. What?
Mayan.
Oh.
Mayan, my own,
False
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah, false
Yes,
advertising.
exactly. Just like how they're selling guns today, right? macho, right?
Yeah.
Misleading advertising. Yes.
May he ask his question?
Yes,
Yeah,
ask your
so-
question.
So
I'm sorry. Dan.
anyway, enjoying that film on the big screen. Of course, go out, get it on DVD through Troma.
Thank you.
Tons of fantastic little PSAs and announcements, by you.
Fantoxic, please.
Fantoxic.
Children, can you say fantoxic?
Fantoxic.
Children. They can watch
Fan-
Toxic Crusaders
toxic.
children, the cartoons.
Believe it or not, that's
Yes.
actually a question.
Oh,
Question.
the Toxic
Question. It's gonna be
Crusaders.
The best question.
Yeah. So, but with those PSAs, I mean, and basically, and clearly, how you speak and conduct yourself today too. I don't think that that social worker aspect, that wanting to do good in the world has ever left you. You're always very outspoken and wanting to fight for the little man, and
The little person, please.
correct
The little
person.
they. The little they.
The
Well,
little they.
my wife says you should try to change the world. She tells
Yeah.
our kids, make a difference. That's your mantra.
Yeah.
Try to make a difference in some way.
And I think between the two of you've done an amazing job.
Well,
That's
Grammy
doing it.
Kaufman, believe me, my Grammy Kaufman gave me plenty of ideas that were not mainstream.
Yeah.
Sorry you never met her. It's cool.
Yeah.
She's very left wing.
Oh yeah.
And right about everything. Everything she said. Vietnam War was bullshit. Fidel Castro
Mhm.
kicked out the bums and prostitutes from Cuba. Eat cashews. They're healthy, raw cashews. Don't eat hot dogs. They're full of hoofs and noses and ears. We were 3 years old when we learned all this.
Yeah.
So,
Lots of assholes and not hot dogs.
yes.
You gotta watch out for that shutter
But they
speed.
sure taste good. I mean the assholes, not the hot dogs.
Yeah.
Remember that, Zach?
Yeah.
Those days?
Yeah. That was a good night.
We were waiting for the lights to get set up.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Dim
Dan.
down, make it intimate.
Yes.
Oh man. Shoot. Yeah, now I'm kind of thrown
What
offside,
happened?
which is probably a natural thing.
What?
I mean, these
One
guys
thing.
kind of did that once or twice. Too.
We've learned everything we know from
No.
the Toxic Avenger. I mean, Lloyd Kaufman.
That's true.
So
That's
we
true.
kind of.
Oh, Richard has made
It's
some great.
intoxicating.
Richard has made some great animation too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in the first ever Tromation film festival.
That's right.
So,
Was that a precursor to Troma Dance?
No, it was around the same time, I think.
Yeah.
We've done some. Occasionally, we have done a Troma animation when somebody wants to run with it.
Yeah.
And we did one last year in New York. It was very successful. John Brennan, I think, took
Okay.
the lead. But the Troma Dance Festival we do every year.
Yeah, and that's been going for like almost 10 years or
Uh,
longer.
19.
Yeah,
Right.
Troma Dance is 19 years.
No kidding.
It's all free. It's a.
Oh my gosh.
It's a reaction to Sundance, where you have to pay to submit your movie, and you have to pay to watch the movies, and they have a snotty red carpet VIP mentality. So Troma Dance, you can submit your movies for free, you can watch them for free when we have the festival, and no VIP policy. And there's a very good closing party, and whoever gets there gets in. Otherwise, celebrities don't get in. They have to be there in line.
And at your website, at Troma.com, you're also streaming too, right?
Except for that woman in Suicide Squad. No.
Which one? There's a couple of them. Yeah.
It's a terrible movie. But the new one,
Yep.
James Gunn,
There you
gonna
go.
be great.
Yep. Are you going to make a cameo in that?
he's Batman. I
I think so too.
don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. You're not.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun. You're not. I don't
James
know what I'm
Gunn?
supposed to say if you're going to be
Jump to
Batman.
James Gunn.
He,
sounds to
James
James
Gunn.
Gunn.
James Gunn.
You should have a cameo too.
I would just go cheer Lloyd and James in the theater.
Thank you.
That's all the cameo you need.
I'm sure your many viewers have admired my work in Guardians of the Galaxy. And James said that he wanted to kill me in both universes, the DC and the Marvel.
That'd be fantastic.
I asked him to do it for real, but he texted back trifecta.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll do it.
Pat wouldn't like that. No. Yeah.
Go together.
Oh, it's a suicide
No.
pact, or no.
It's a squad.
It's squad.
You got
No,
people
that's
talking
terrible.
about
Don't
it?
do it.
No, that's people just joining in.
Oh, cool.
So usually with this format, like, people don't usually, chime in right away.
Oh, they'll watch it later.
Yeah, they'll watch it later. And usually that's when our viewership goes up, and then they leave comments, and it's like, well, you're too late.
Oh.
We're not responding to you.
Well, you can
Actually,
leave
we are.
comments if Daniel's too busy. You can leave comments on @Lloyd Kaufman. Is @Lloyd Kaufman is a sad old man who sits at home crying.
But you do.
And I
You write
respond to
your own
everything. That's
responses,
very true.
right?
Very.
I
he
respond
responds
to
me.
everything and anything, at least on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know how to do Facebook, but my other stuff streams to Facebook.
Tell us a little bit more about the film that we're going to watch tonight, because it's you already shot the first one. That's out.
Yes.
You're now presenting the new volume,
Two,
the new
right.
one.
Yes.
To a new audience. And how did you come about to revisit Nuke'em High?
Well, it wasn't my idea, right, Commissioner? It was not your idea either. And it certainly wasn't Zack Beins or Richard Taylor. They are too proud to be involved in a remake. Right? Fanboys don't like remakes. But no, a guy at Starz, STARZ,
Mm-hmm.
was a fan, and he was the guy who was in charge of their video company.
Mm-hmm.
Big company.
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he suggested that if we were to remake Class of Nuke'em High, they would guarantee to give us a modest profit for the U.S. rights.
Okay.
So we put up the money to make Return to Nuke'em High Volume 1, and they then took the U.S. rights and allowed us to have a small profit. And then we had the foreign rights. And the Volume 2 was that was always part of it. But like Kill Bill, both movies can be seen individually.
Mm-hmm.
And Volume 2, Return to Nuke'em High, aka Volume 2, is a much more, I think, idealistic maybe, or more, it's a more risky, put it that way. It's funnier, but I think also maybe more, out there, but perhaps a bit more controversial, if there is controversy.
Okay.
If there is something to object to, this one probably has more.
That has it. That'll evoke a
Yes,
response.
the third-rate bloggers. If there are any third-rate bloggers in Denver, this is
Oh, look, that
will be
covers nicely.
your Champs-Élysées, whatever that means.
So do you normally go out and do partnerships like this with other, because it's another studio?
Nobody wants us. Nobody goes near us. We do, no, the guy at Starz, it was his idea. So, hey.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And it's a good, Return to Nuke'em High is a good, we specialize in the underdog movies. And at the time, there was a fair amount of stuff going on in my head about the food and stuff that has happened in my 50 years of filmmaking. What's happened to the American public?
Yeah.
But you've got another major partnership coming up.
You're right. We
Okay.
do. Although it's more, we don't have any control over it. But there is a very good company called Legendary.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
they are fantastic. And they have optioned the Toxic Avenger to make a huge $100 million deal.
Yeah.
And they hired a very good writer,
Okay.
director, named Malcolm Blair. Very good.
Is he the same gentleman?
Macon
Blue
Blair.
Ruin?
Macon Blair, yes.
Okay.
He also wrote and directed I Don't Feel Safe in This World Anymore. Which is
Okay.
his only film. And it's wonderful. It's great. And I think he wrote Green Room. He's acted in a bunch of these too.
Yeah.
So and that's the person we wanted. So we're on the right track.
Excellent.
And if they let him direct it, it's going to be good. It may not, maybe it doesn't make money because it's original and may have something to say that is actually not
I think
baby
it's going to
food.
be great.
It's probably
Yeah.
going to be really good if he gets involved and they let him direct it. So that's where it is. So
Yeah.
if they make the movie,
I hope.
if they make the movie,
It
Uncle
happens.
Lloydie and
Yeah.
Richard and Zach and I will be able to make some more movies together. The
Exactly.
commissioner will produce and make us perhaps a little more mainstream.
Have you produced some of his film projects recently?
Well, I am one of the producers on Return to Nuke'em High.
Okay.
Return to Nuke'em High Volume 2, but I was a much more hands-on producer for the next film, which is based on The Tempest.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that one I really was on on set every single day,
Yeah.
making decisions.
Oh yeah, you're still
Still making decisions
yeah,
because we're
yeah.
in the editing process right now.
Oh,
getting
nice.
the music and
Yes.
finishing the CGI.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Do you have
That's
a
great.
release date for that? No.
We have to. I wish we had the power to announce a release date.
Yeah.
We're very slow.
But just pay attention to Troma.com, right?
Troma.com. That's where I go for the news. I'll tell
That's
you
right.
that. But you can go to my Twitter account. It's a little more reliable. Frankly, I'm sorry to say. At Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah. Twitter and your Facebook
Actually,
account
KW
too.
Zombie on Twitter. KW Zombie knows more about it. There are people on Twitter and
Mhm.
Instagram who are
Just
much
following
more
you.
up to date about what we're doing at Troma than we are.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Daniel. But
that's
I mean,
okay.
that was,
Is that-
that was
That's
mine.
okay.
That's
That's all
my
right.
fault.
I keep thinking it's like, oh Lord, is that my pacemaker? Is that the battery?
yeah, these are. But in my case, people from Denver who are, I guess, fans. I don't.
They keep
they won't
tagging
go
you.
off. Yeah, they
Yeah.
know they want to come.
Oh, that's
They
cool.
want to come, but I'm
Come
not.
Oh,
I'm not giving
come,
anybody any
come to
passes.
the Oriental Theater.
Let's
Yeah,
hear. We've
come
got
and
oh,
pay the Oriental Cinema. They are,
Tom's.
it's an independent movie theater.
Who's talking?
Yeah,
Support
Tom.
them. Support
Tom
the
is
theater.
posting on the comment page.
Oh, good.
They're just saying hi, Lloyd. Hi to Lloyd and Pat and you
Thank you,
guys.
Tom. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Well,
hi.
thanks to Tom. That
Hi.
we're here.
Fan toxic. Yeah, you've got him initiated. Yeah, he's been good to work with.
He's very good.
Terrific.
Is it
Yeah.
Dylan? Oh, Tom.
Tom. Yeah, Tom D'Amico.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's he's been good. You do have a really
Very
nice
loyal,
staff.
very loyal
That's,
people.
that's
Good
been
people.
pretty easy.
All
To,
young and they love movies.
Yeah.
They actually love movies.
yeah.
Very different from when you go out to La La Land and you meet with the suits.
Yeah.
They're proud of not going to movies, half of them.
That was an unfortunate film. Oh, La La Land.
Oh, no, we liked
I
it.
loved
Did
it.
ya?
I have to say, I
Mm.
loved
We
it.
love musicals. You know.
I love musicals, but
You really didn't like it?
yeah, I didn't.
And I loved every frame of it.
Yeah.
Me too.
That was
Yeah.
awesome on the big screen.
Yeah, that we saw it twice on the big screen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
missed the
What
first.
didn't you like about it?
I had a hard time with the the usual Hollywood story,
Yeah,
and, and
there's
making
some
that
truth
into it's
and it's very, very derivative of
Yeah.
Jacques Demy's musical, French musical. Les Parapluies de Cherbourg.
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Cherbourg.
Okay.
Les Parapluies de Cherbourg.
Yeah.
I've only seen it in French, but it's very much Lala. It's a great double bill to put those
Okay.
two together. And
Okay.
They're both brilliant. They're both great. In the
yeah
same way that John Ford and Return to Nuke'em High, AK Volume 2 would be
should
very good.
it'd be a nice double feature,
Yeah, yeah.
especially
It's
in the drive-thru.
vistas,
But
the
maybe
white
Booksmart
vistas.
and Bloodsucking Freaks, I think, would go very well together.
There you go. Yeah.
8th Grade and Surf Nazis Must Die, good combination.
Yeah.
They're all influenced by Troma or
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Back to when you were getting started too. What with the genre of B films, what was the main attraction for it?
I just didn't want to be in the mainstream. I stupidly, I speak French, and when I was at Yale, the Film Society had a pile of Cahiers de Cinéma, which is the magazine for the Cinémathèque Française, which is this very intellectual museum / film museum
Yeah.
that worships at the knee of auteur filmmakers like Chaplin, Keaton, Lenoir, Leni Riefenstahl, John Ford. The filmmakers whose personalities are who are authors. Auteur means author.
Yeah.
And you see a John Ford, you see a Samuel Fuller movie, you know it's a Samuel Fuller movie. That's why Troma's still here. It's the ones we make. They're Troma movies. So I bought into all that, and I decided to. I had 2 opportunities after I got out of school. When I was a senior, I had an opportunity to work in Los Angeles on a Barbra Streisand movie as a shit cleaner, and I had an opportunity to work as a toilet cleaner at a crappy little company in New York called Canon. And I took acid one night and decided I would stay in the underground and destroy my chances of success. Thank
acid,
you, good friend LSD.
where all the best decisions are made.
It was pretty heavy, and
Yeah.
I made the right decision. I've been lucky.
Yeah.
With a beautiful wife. We have children. You think they're beautiful? No, they are very beautiful. We have beautiful grandchildren.
We love Charlotte.
They're great. They're all doing film stuff. They all have guts. They're all doing kind of their own thing too.
Yeah.
And, being independent and bravely.
Are they following in your footsteps?
No, hopefully not. But they're in the film. They're in the film area, but doing
Okay.
it and being successful.
Nice.
In fact, Lisbeth, the middle child, has something for you filmmakers called Kit Split, and it's an Airbnb for equipment. So
Film equipment.
Oh, fantastic.
you don't have farm equipment. Damn, I just ordered a sprinkler from them. Anyway, so if you're looking for a camera, there's a guy who's a cameraman out there who owns his own equipment. He's not using it. Just like Airbnb, you can rent his camera for about half of what an equipment house would charge. And now the equipment houses are involved. They're in their 5th year. Hearst Media is their main anchor investor. And it's going very well. Troma used it. We used it on Shakespeare. It's hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm, by the way. Hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm. That's part of the title. It's in the title. And one of the themes of the movie is this social justice warrior thing.
Nice.
The other theme of the movie is the abuse of the
Opioids.
well,
Oh,
it's more the farmer, big farmer. The fact that big farmer for the past 50 years has brainwashed the children in this country to take a pill for no matter what. And then you have the other people, poultry guys. We did the other movie where the fast food companies brainwashed 50 years of children. So we have a country of obese people. And these brave people, they made Poultry Guys, Night of the Chicken Dead, and just which was unpopular enough, but it's also a musical. So that eliminated about 90%. People hate musicals, but it's great. Poultry Guys, Night of the Chicken Dead is
Poultry.
it's eventually will find its place. Terra Firma, we made that in 1999. Terra Firma, right?
Yep.
Nobody got it, and now we keep making the Blu-ray. 5,000 at a time. We keep making them and making.
That's
The
fantastic.
word of mouth. Eventually, it catches up. And the movie will be profitable.
Yeah. When that one came out, I was out of art school.
Terra Firma.
Yeah. I went and bought the DVD. That was one that in my warehouse that I lived in. All my roommates were watching that.
You lived in a whorehouse? What? Oh,
Yeah,
Daniel,
pretty close.
that's a
Pretty
terrible
close.
thing.
Pretty close. Yeah.
There's ladies here.
Yeah. Well, I was the whore, and that got
No way,
my asshole got
no way,
passed
buddy.
around quite a
No
bit.
way.
How do you
Anyway.
think I paid rent? The willing.
Well, you're a good-looking guy. I have to say.
Thank you. Yeah, I have my moments. It
I
depends
was
the
married.
angle.
As a gay married man, let me tell you, you are a good-looking dude.
Oh, thank
I'd
you.
like to see you on a snowboard.
Yeah, it's
And you have a snowboard out there.
Yeah, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, we have a Toxic Crusader snowboard.
oh sweet.
One left, only one left.
I'm getting it.
Oh nice. Yeah,
I'm picking it up.
you are an avid snowboarder.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
hitting those slopes every week.
Excellent.
Not a snowboard.
It's a skateboard.
It's a skateboard
Skateboard.
deck, and
Oh.
it's a deck.
But
There's
on
no
that
wheels.
little detail.
It's very safe. There are no
I'm
wheels.
still gonna
No
go down
wheels.
those slopes.
Yeah, even better. You're not going to go anywhere.
So
Unless
you were
it's a
living in the
slope.
warehouse, and what happened?
Oh, I was living in the warehouse.
Sorry, Rich.
Oh,
Yeah.
no worries. At the time, a lot of my roommates were, we were building machines and pyrotechnics and things that blew up and
Oh,
exploded
yeah.
and went through walls and destroyed things.
Wow.
And we were always passing
Just
around.
for the fun of it or for movies?
No, for live events.
Ooh.
So it was
Nice.
in a group called Motoman Project, and we had other artists like painters and sculptors and
Yeah,
stuff too.
yeah.
And I only lasted so long because all I could do was weld, but I couldn't do the electrical and everything. And this was right after 9/11, so I'm sure we were on the FBI watch list because we were buying very questionable materials that you can make
A
bombs
lot
out
of fertilizer.
Dude,
Yeah, actually. But Troma films were one of the movies that we were passing
Terra
around.
Firma was definitely a good one for filmmaking and
Yes.
explosives, and
Very much so.
it was about making a Troma movie.
And then
But it's a crazy. When I look at that movie today, I can't imagine anybody made Terra Firma. I don't know where in my head.
Once
I'm
upon a time
surprised
in
you
Tromaville.
didn't get too upset about it.
Well, they say
you were really
every
busy.
7
I mean,
years,
it's a pretty
you're
weird film.
a completely different person,
It's
right?
a crazy.
Yeah.
And Trent Hager was the star of it.
Oh, okay.
He had the main part. He was working at a social, at something that was online,
Yeah.
and he interviewed me, and he was a Troma freak.
Yeah.
So he had the main part. He got the main part, and Will Keenan got the other. I think Will Keenan may have had a bigger, and more. Will Keenan's part was more Oscar worthy, but Trent was great. And then Trent wrote Citizen Toxie,
Okay.
and he's now making his own damn movies in Hollywood, and
Nice.
they're very
doing
good.
well.
Nice.
They're great. He did Cheap Thrills, which is based on a book or a play.
Oh,
no, a book.
yeah.
Which
Okay.
Will Keenan
No,
starred in.
no,
No,
Will
wasn't
Keenan
that-
started nothing. No.
Pat Healy is in that one.
Yeah,
No,
no, that's a real
okay,
movie. Cheap Thrills is like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Anyway.
And Trent then did this great movie with Matthew Gray Gubler and and a female identified female movie star who is unbelievable, and it is called 68 Kill.
Nice.
Did you guys see it?
Did not yet.
It's terrific.
You got it. It's excellent. It's also based on a book, and it's really good.
We're definitely fans of his clown movies, the Killjoy movies. And,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
those are great. And then one of the PAs in Terra Firma was Joe Lynch.
That's
Went on
right.
to
Joe
do
Lynch has
Long
got a
Term
new
2.
movie too.
Yeah, it's coming out this week on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Right. Joe
That's
Lynch
funny.
is.
He's covered in all the C470. Yeah.
What
Oh,
is
nice.
Joe Lynch up to? What's his new movie? May as well plug him. He's a great guy.
Which
Yeah.
I just saw. I don't know the title. I just know he has a new
Yeah.
movie.
Well, he's good.
At the Joe Lynch on Twitter, I'm sure
He
he's,
did full around. What was it called?
Everly.
Yeah. Well, that one
Oh,
was
okay.
kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Huh.
Knights of
But
Badass.
the one that was
Oh, I
Oliver
remember
Stone's
Knights of
U-turn.
Yeah.
He did a U-turn movie
U-turn, yeah.
that's
Oh.
better than the first one,
Nice.
in my opinion. But yeah, he's very good, and he's on his way.
So,
Yeah, Trent Hager,
Yeah.
all these people that come out of Troma. In fact, I'm sure you and you guys have gone to Shudder to see the hot new Joe Bob Briggs series that Shudder is. Jason Martell, John Brennan, Matt Mangiarini, Justin Martell, John Brennan. I know them so well, and Matt Mangiarides, who have all worked for Troma and have produced Troma movies, including Shakespeare's Shitstorm. With my beautiful wife, they have created the new Joe Bob Briggs show
bless you.
and have brought it, God bless you,
Bless you.
and brought back, basically Joe Bob is back bigger than ever. And so there are a lot of Troma alumni out there.
Yeah.
Behind the camera too, a lot of Samuel Jackson's first movie
Yep.
is Troma, all sorts of people.
Yeah.
We didn't, we financed it. It was directed by James Bond III. It's
Who's
a very
a,
good
who's
movie.
a
Nice.
Colorado filmmaker.
That's right,
Oh,
he's
he
living
lives
here
in
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Nice.
should try to find him. He's
Yeah.
a great
See if he
guy.
can come out. See if he can come
I-
out tonight.
yeah,
Yeah, somebody was trying to get a hold of her. Wait, was that you?
yeah.
were talking to me
James
about
Bond
him?
Yeah.
III, if you're out there. Deaf by Temptation, DEF by Temptation. Kadeem Hardison, also Melba Moore, all sorts of great music, and it's probably Troma's best. I think it's Troma's probably best album.
It actually was talked a lot about on that horror noir documentary about
Oh, yeah.
African American filmmakers in horror, and it's getting the
Yeah, it's getting.
Yeah.
It should have
finally
gotten.
getting that, you know, back to that.
It came
Yep.
out too early. That was a problem. If it would have come out 6 months, if it would have, in my opinion, if Death by Temptation would have come out after Boys from the Hood, be a whole different story. But Boys from the Hood broke the video stores didn't want to take Death by Temptation
Okay.
because they were worried the black people would come in and burn the stores down. They didn't want the black people in there.
Yeah. All that.
So we
weird
did
irrational
well
bullshit.
theatrically.
Yeah.
The movie did very well theatrically.
Yeah.
And got good reviews theatrically, but we hit the wall with the video, and then Columbia forced the companies to force the video stores to take Boys with the Hood. They wouldn't get the
Boys in
big
the Hood,
movie,
yeah.
whatever it was, Annie or whatever big Columbia movie was going at that time. I can't. It was whatever they couldn't. They
Yeah.
wouldn't. If you want that, you got to. Your stores are going to take this, whether you like it.
Yeah.
It was a huge hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we never once you release something, it doesn't do well. They just very seldom go back to you.
Yeah.
But it is Death by Temptation is maybe our best movie.
Nice. To start, we're going to have to start wrapping things up.
Well, I much prefer Adam, the Amazing Zombie
Adam the
Killer.
Amazing Zombie Killer.
Yeah, that's better than any Troma movie. But
Yeah.
Adam the Amazing Zombie
We
Killer.
hope,
This is
it's,
a
we hope it's a
fantastic
Troma
film.
movie one day.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
What advice would you have for the current breed of filmmakers just starting out? Students and amateurs.
I think if you want to make movies like Lloyd Kaufman and Troma Entertainment, and if you want to keep making them with nobody telling you what to do for 50 years, you go out and you find yourself a dame like this. Your film commissioner, a wonderful woman, a woman who has the fairest, other than my partner Michael Hers, I would say fairer than my partner Michael Hers, and smart, much too smart and beautiful, and lucky me. And the other thing I would suggest is do what is in your heart. To thine own self be true, a maxim devised by one William Shakespeare, who, as you know, wrote that amazing best-selling book, 101 money-making screenplay ideas, otherwise known as Hamlet. Make movies from the heart, from the soul, from the brain, and you too can what? Take a Greyhound bus just like Uncle Lloyd.
Thanks so much, Lloyd, for being on here, and Pat, and Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Happy anniversary, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my
thank you.
God. This is
Congratulations.
Well, Daniel,
25 years.
you were a
Yeah,
patient
thank you.
man, and thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
We're honored, and thank you out there in TV land for you beautiful people in the dark for your time. There's nothing more valuable than your time. It's much more important than money. If you're going to be an artist, if somebody's going to look at your painting, that's enough for me. Money is important, but the time is the most valuable. Nobody knows that. Mr. Trump doesn't know it. The millionaires don't know it. My wife knows it.
And with that, make sure you come out tonight to the Oriental Theater at 44th and Tennyson. 7:30, doors are open for your screening.
Isn't 6:30? We got the meet and greet.
You
at
got this.
6:30.
You got the
Yeah, come
6:30
and
meet
pay
and greet.
extra money. You can
Yeah.
shake my hand. Meet the commissioner. Meet the glamorous filmmakers that are here, and many
Yep.
others who are coming.
Yeah, most definitely.
6:30, I think, is when the
With the meet and greet. Okay. And then make sure to visit Troma.com. Follow Lloyd on Twitter and Instagram.
at Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah,
and Facebook too.
LLOYD at. By the way, this theater is magnificent, and people should support it.
Yeah.
The
Very
new
much so.
murals. I was here a long time ago, and the murals were getting damaged by water, and the wonderful team that runs this. So
Beautiful.
this is a real landmark. You guys,
Yeah.
people should support this theater without a doubt.
Yeah, thank you to the Oriental Theater and to Scott LaBarbera for bringing you nice folks out to
Thank you.
share your art with us, and for the local heroes
Thank you.
too for
Thank you.
coming out.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Yay!
And I'm Dan Crosier with COFOH Live Undead. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, the people who made this will be happy.
Yeah.
They're very nice. It's a family-made movie. But it's